NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. Congrats on the win. How would you describe what happened tonight?
It was kind of a tale of two halves. I think defensively we were pretty solid all night, and offensively it was kind of hit or miss depending on what kind of shots we could create and the flow. But we stayed with it. A lot of guys off the bench came in and contributed, gave us great energy, and we made it a game. And then kind of made them earn it a little bit. I think the difference between Wednesday and tonight. Wednesday was kind of an ugly back and forth. Nobody could really get separation, and they made some shots down the stretch. Tonight, defensively, in the second half, we turned defense into offense, and that was great for us to get back into the game and then, keep that momentum into the fourth quarter. So pretty awesome night considering how the first 28 minutes went.
And you played a lot of small ball tonight. How does that affect your game?
I mean, it creates a little bit more space, but you got to be on the defensive end. You got to be able to get stops and rebound. And we were able to do that, so we weren't, giving up those second chance points. And from there, our speed and spacing, guys making shots, ball moving around, it helped us a lot.
Steph, when you had Zubac on you at the top left by the hash mark, what inspired you to make that pass to Damian Lee? Did you see something instead of just swinging it around the baseball that way?
I was trying to get ISO, spacing first. Obviously when you have a big on you, and then I realized that how they regarded me the last two games, that there was going to be a huge crowd kind of pulling over. I just tried to be patient to kind of see where the driving angle was going to be or where, the most efficient pass was going to be. And me and EP kind of had a little unspoken kind of connection. He was going to pin in for D-Lee in the corner. It's just about me trying to get it there as on time and on target. And thankfully connected, and D-Lee made the shot. So just try to be patient, knowing that they were going to send a lot of bodies my way on that side of the court.
What do you think the issue is with the starting lineup right now?
Why are you so negative, bro?
Minus 20 tonight. Sorry.
It's 9 games in. We got a lot to figure out, but we're doing a lot of good things. There's some things we do need to get better at, but that's part of a new team kind of, getting assembled and figuring each other out, and, a lot of trial and error. But thankfully we're deeper than we were last year, where you can make subtle adjustments and hopefully win games in the process. But, we'll get there.
Steph, what do you think the difference between the first half and the second half was defensively?
Coach called a timeout in the third quarter. Well, we talked about at halftime, the little things that against this team are important in terms of flying around, being, or talking on defense, but also getting rebounds. I gave up probably 3 or 4 second chance opportunities to Pat Beverly crashing on the weak side. Serge was killing us in the paint. And so, that gives any team confidence that you're going to get more than one shot on a possession. That's hard to guard, especially a talented team like that. So he talked about it at halftime, and then I think in the first 3 minutes I gave up another one. He called timeout and got into us a little bit, and just it's a matter of how you respond from that point. And, we kept bodies on guys. We made Kawhi and PG take tough shots. They're obviously capable of making those, but then we secure rebounds and turn that into easy offense. And against a team like that, who not necessarily doesn't like to run as fast as we can, it worked to our advantage.
Steph, what kind of happened at the end of that third quarter, that 18-2 run that kind of really brought things back within reach for you guys? Can you kind of take us through what happened right there?
I mean, a lot of us getting stops, running, transition, and then we obviously made shots. And that gave us a lot of confidence that, hey, get stops, good things are going to happen. We can space the floor and get some good looks and find a way to, keep the pressure on them. Just basically flip the game on its head and had some big momentum finishing the third quarter. And then from there, it was a game again, and we took advantage of it in the fourth.
Stephen, you and Draymond have pretty much been through everything, seen everything. But what do you want your teammates, especially the new ones, the younger ones, to take away from a game like this?
That as you grow, everybody has to be ready for what the game asks for. The bench stayed ready, and they were the difference maker for us. And for, the length of this season, it's going to require everybody to stay engaged, stay committed, stay in the fight, and know that you're going to have an opportunity to help us win games. Obviously Kelly and Wise, in the second half, we're watching it. I think in terms of what we can learn as a unit to make those subtle adjustments, not let go of the rope, as we've been joking about in the locker room, and find ways to learn the lessons that we need to learn early in the season that will make us a very capable basketball team down the stretch of the season. So every night is capable of looking entirely different when you're trying to figure, yourself out and stay competitive. And again, I just like the way we responded, which is night and day different than, those first two games where we would have no business winning a game like tonight.
Yeah, all these years later, when you get rolling like you have at various points in the last week or so, what's it like knowing that when you're shooting it like that, that momentum feeds off of everybody else on the roster the way that it does?
I mean, it's necessary, obviously, to be aggressive and to score and play make. The Clippers are a very good basketball team, especially on the defensive end, when they're locked in on the game plan, and they were sending bodies at me everywhere. And you have to find that balance. I think I've been talking about it all year of taking what the defense gives you, making the right basketball play, and trying to get everybody involved, but still being aggressive to score. And it took a minute for it to click. And to your point, if I can create shots and create momentum, scoring the basketball, there's probably going to be some more attention my way. And they know that I'm going to try to make the right play at all times and, get guys going, get guys opportunities. And for us, we just can't get in our feelings like we did in the first half, and myself included, in terms of if it's not clicking, that we kind of, lose our energy a little bit. So that's on everybody, but it's on me, obviously, in terms of just keeping my foot on the gas pedal no matter what's happening in the game.
When you say it was not clicking, was that because you seemed to be in rhythm with your shot, but it was tough to get them? Is that what you meant by not clicking in the first half?
What was the first part you said? I missed the first part.
It seems like you had a good rhythm going with the shot, but you just weren't able to get a lot of them, even though you're hot. Is that what you mean by, not getting your feelings?
Yeah. Especially if a team like the Clippers, when I know what they're trying to do and you're trying to figure it out. And so it's that fine balance of being reckless and over aggressive where you get yourself in trouble. I think I got a charge trying to take on all five guys in the second half, or like early in the third quarter, versus being smart with the ball, hunting for my shot, but also just kind of reading the situation and being a little bit more thoughtful around it. So obviously that falls on my responsibility to figure that out.
Steph,
Malika Bobino with Bobino Sports Break. Is it the message at halftime that Kerr gives, or is it your leadership on the floor that calms the guys? Because you guys rushed a lot of shots that didn't go in, but in the second half, you just kind of got into a really good flow. So is it your leadership as well as Draymond's just to kind of coach them along? I mean, you have Wanamaker come off the bench and give you 8 points.
It's on everybody. Myself, Draymond, leading the charge as players in the locker room and on the court. Coach being honest with us around what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. And at the half, he charged us with playing better defense, being more thoughtful about fouls and second chance points and rebounding. And that'll give us a good chance to get our offense going, and it worked. So the point around like Brad and EP, Bays, D. Lee, who came in, and Mike, who came in and gave us great minutes, is what we talk about all the time. We've been talking about it for years now in terms of everybody on the bench having a role, being comfortable in their role and being ready to come in and contribute. And we don't just say that, we live it out. So tonight was a great, example of that.
That's a little off topic here, but how important is that personal relationship that you have with Draymond, forged through years of and experiences? How important is that even this year, as far as your leadership goes?
I mean, it's huge because we're both trying to figure it out on the fly. We understand what teams we've been on in the past, and we understand the challenge of this year, getting a bunch of new guys, comfortable here and bring the best out of them. And understanding that this is an off season and a start of the year that, obviously around the league, but we haven't been in before. So it does require an awareness and the consistency in how you're using your voice and leading by example. But it's also like being honest with the different challenges that like the schedule brings and the protocols and the newness of everything, because we are obviously much more comfortable having been around the block. So it's a 24/7, role and responsibility if we're going to be good this year.
How did you take the fact that you started the fourth quarter, and how did you take it?
Say what?
How do you take the fact that you started the fourth quarter?
Oh, I loved it. I was surprised. Me and Mike Brown, he told me at the end of the third quarter break, he said something like he was going to give me a minute. And then I didn't hear what he said after that. I thought I was coming out for a minute. I was going to play like 10 or 11 minutes in the fourth because I had it rolling. But he was like, nah, you're going to keep playing. I'm going to give you a possession or a minute and then take you out. So we had a little fun with that one because it was obviously what the game called for. But, we'll take it game by game in terms of my minutes and all that type of stuff. But it's fun to know that we can have that kind of back and forth when I'm campaigning for more minutes and they're shutting it down, or vice versa. Tonight it was kind of a surprise that I didn't even have to ask.
Sounds like you guys kind of bullied Steve into it.
It wasn't even me. I was just in my own world. I didn't even have to ask. They told me, so that was nice. I'm gonna save those bullets for later.
Hi, Steph. Is this victory a message to the people who say that the Warriors cannot be a title contender?
No message is necessary, my man. We know who we are, what we're about. It's just about playing each game. So we love the fight. We love the opportunity to prove to ourselves who we are now and who we're trying to be, throughout this season. So
thank you.